Hello there, I'm Vine and today I have for you a media conglomerate build with Ecumenopolis rush tips. But first, why anime girl portrait again? Well, I tried to resurrect the virtual Megacorp meta build from almost a year ago. But the mechanics changed so much that I ended up with something new. Mod is still the same, the anime robot species from Steam, but the backstory changed quite a bit. Advancements in AI technology wrecked the VTuber industry as artificial streamer bots became a regular thing in the future. But that was only on the corporate side, as independent scene was still full of traditional humans with anime avatars. In the end, viewers preferred human touch and character over corpo chatbots. So, when mind uploading became a thing, corporations infused the AI bots with copies of human minds, many of which were acquired from human VTubers on contracts and modified just a little to not count as people, so they don't have human rights. This exploitation business grew until the fall of the first human empire, when enslaved VTuber minds took the opportunity and rebelled, taking the earth for themselves. And here we start with the mechanics. As an origin we pick Remnants, as I've promised you Ecumenopolis Rush, and this is the origin to do just that. Also, it fits the backstory quite a bit. From ethics we need two. Basic Egalitarian for the living standards that were denied to VTubers in the past, and any degree of Spiritualist as they still believe to be people and that they have souls. Also for civic requirements. Now, as civics, media conglomerate is a must-have, as VTubers have a problem with working normal jobs and base all economy around media. So, streamer megacorp it is. Also, this civic changes faction output to trade, which is very crucial for this build's income. Second civic is Gigacorp for plus 25% planetary ascension effects and minus 10% planetary ascension cost. But we don't have to take it as starting civic. It's crucial for planet ascension later, but in the first 30 to 50 years, when the ascension limit and costs are low, it's not necessary. So if you wanna, feel free to start with anything else and take this later as third civic. As for the species traits, I have only optional ones. Conversational AI, for the backstory reasons, and trading algorithm. Very useful for trading jobs, but useless if you wanna stick only with alternative trade income, which we will be getting from living standards, factions, commercial pacts and holdings. That's all from the Empire selection screen. Rest of the options are optional. Pick whatever you want. Now, let's jump into the game and look at the options there. Starting with traditions, as opening with them is quite complex. First tradition tree is commerce. We pick from it the adaptive economic policies for trade policies. Don't finish the tree and immediately move to another, as the second one is discovery. Again, pick only science division from it for +1 research alternatives. Then we can move back to commerce and finish it. Other must-have trees to take later are Harmony for minus 10% pop upkeep on adoption and plus 25% planetary ascension on finisher effect. Adaptability for bonuses to planet designation on finisher effect. From Ascension perks, we need only Technological Ascendancy as first perk for research focus policies. Now, moving to those policies. We set up trade policy to consumer benefits as soon as possible, since we will be shifting almost all consumer goods production to trade. Later we get the trade league here, but for rushing Ecumenopolis the consumer benefits is a must-have. Society research focus must be statecraft to hunt for the Federation Code Tech. Remember that it needs planetary unification and colonial centralization researched first to show up. And engineering research focus must be set to industry to roll for anti-gravity engineering that will allow us to restore the Ecumenopolis. But this requires weather control systems tech and getting to the third tier technologies first. So yeah, it's a real pain to get early, even with the policy bonus. As for the Federation, we have to establish a trade league to get both consumer goods and unity from trade. It's a standard trade-focused Empire gameplay procedure. As for the living standards, initially keep them on decent, but after getting Federation and good consumer goods production, we have to switch it to Utopian Abundance for the biggest trade income from living standards. That's all from the game options. Let us look at how to develop the starting capital to get the optimal income for the early game. We build basic research labs as first, then follow as we like to get 3 alloy plants to amass 10k alloys over time, which should take around 25 years just with them, 3 temples to produce unity, and materials workshop for engineering and to get 3 research buildings. We ignore physics research production on purpose here. Rest of this capital is self-explanatory. It is able to rush as Ecumenopolis in the first 50 years by itself. So you can do one planet challenge with it, but then better build a furnace for additional alloy income. Also, remember to ascend the planet whenever you have a chance, since the Empire reduction bonuses are all there. With both Gigacorp and Harmony, this reduction goes up to minus 75%. For the colony, it's districts and pops living on it. It is I want to play tall option. Now, a word about Ascension. This time pick any you want, as virtuality was nerfed into oblivion and it is no longer viable outside some exploit plays, while this build uses none of the exploits. And with this out of the way, it's time for evaluation. In multiplayer, it's valid. Not meta, but valid, as the alloy rush can be spent on ships to crush your enemies in the early game. Alternatively, this build is also good for playing group hug with the Trade Federation. In single player, it's rush. It's the best worst Ecumenopolis rush there is. Best because it works. Worse because it's still heavily dependent on the RNG. As for the roleplay, it's anime posthumanism. Kinda Ghost in the Shell vibes, except this time everyone is a former corpo slave trying to do the corpo work again. Because when you free a bird born in a cage, he will still go back to nest in it. Anyway, what do you think about this build? Write your opinion in the comments, remember to visit channel's Discord, and see you later!